and without a. So anyway, there I was, and all of a sudden she walked out of my life, and I haven't seen her since.
Good God, so you could be a father on 3 different continents.
Yeah, but we don't talk about that.
All right.
Anyway,
Oh,
good
yes,
evening, all.
good evening. How you doing? All you daddies out there, hello, how are you? It's we Paddy and Judd again from across the Shuck, and you're very, very welcome to the channel. And this is a bit through together tonight. We have nothing planned. I've been out all day. I just got in about half an hour ago, had some tea, sat down here. And we haven't got, well, we've got things to talk about. We've always got something to talk about. What's happened in your week? What's your week been like?
Well, my week has been one of impulse buys and instant regrets, and I blame Slip Joint Sawyer and the sanitarium, the Discord sanitarium, for enabling me my worst impulses, Stephen. But we'll talk more of that anon. More of that anon. But yes, I got a new knife, and I'm absolutely. It was something of a grail knife. Yeah. And I'm very pleased to have it. Okay, switching microphones here, so hopefully that'll get a wee bit better.
Right.
Okay. So can everybody hear us all right? Just checking. If somebody would put a yes, let's
Mikey Newman blames Slippy as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
There's some new names in there. Is that Keelan McCann?
Where are we? Yep. Yeah. Keelan McCallan. Your name for a great whiskey, mate.
You're very welcome to Sean. There's a Sean there. There's a
Thrifty's in, and we've got Red Rose Stew and Jason, and I think Fibidabit has been in. And
what is that one there?
Kaelin questions the narrative. Okay.
Texas Farmer, Spider-Man here. Hi, just not too sure.
And then we've got Ground Fog as well. So yes, we have some new names.
That's
and
lovely.
You're all very welcome. And we will be coming to you well and truly, and we're very happy to see you all in here. Yes, so Crispy's saying as well, like that Matt Sawyer one is the devil incarnate.
He's a bad man.
He is a bad man in a good way, but a bad man. He is really.
Thankfully, I've come out of that sack phase, so I don't have to follow him. You destroyed me in that.
Well, it's nice to know that somebody is keeping the legacy alive.
And I just wanted to say, shall we show them a knife? Shall we show them a knife?
Show them a knife.
I'll show you a wee knife first, and then I'll go into a wee story. I got the Rosecraft blades, the 2 Barlows. Well, one's a jackknife and the other a Barlow, but that one's a Barlow as well, in my eyes. This is just stunning. Absolutely amazing. That bone it's just waking up in a Mexican beach just with this here. It is just beautiful. And in hand, it is fabulous. To use, it is fabulous. It's sharp out of the box. The grind lines on either side are absolutely even and beautiful.
The attention to detail is just phenomenal. So, I mean, this is the other Barlow. That's
there's a Lucia, well, I've got them here.
Luchahachi Jack.
Luchahachi Jack. That one is.
Yeah, and then that one's the
Tallahassee
Barlow.
Barlow. It's a Barlow.
Yeah.
I don't even know it's Tallahassee. I just made the name up.
There's the show side. And I mean, it's the attention to detail. You can't feel the transitions. You can't. The weight in hand is absolutely gorgeous. The walk and talk is fantastic. And that attention to detail is really represented on the grind, which is almost perfect, I have to say.
I put it right up there with the Rough Rider Reserve.
Definitely.
If not a bit better, simply because there's bone. The bone is that, you see the color of that bone? Honestly, it's tequila. That's all I can. It's just a tequila sunrise. Absolutely beautiful.
Don't start.
And
Don't give us that one, because
the thing is, this is exactly the same bone. It's just been jigged.
See that one? That's the kind of bone. No, and this is going to get really dodgy very, very quickly. Thrifty would be licking that before you could say Jack Robinson, because it does look like a very tasty lollipop. It has to be said.
You watch videos of them, but until you get it in hand, you can't appreciate how good something is until it's in your mitt.
And I mean, I've only just seen them, Stephen, and they live up to the hype. I have to say.
Absolutely.
I mean, look, we're over the top enthusiastic about the simplest things at the best of times.
Exactly.
But this is something that you could get excited about. I think
Because they're $54. They'll probably be $64 when it gets here. But let me tell you, you could not spend a better 60 quid on a knife like this. I mean, you can have this as a user, but by God, it's a handsome user. And the D2 is incredibly sharp straight out of the box.
Yeah.
The action, they're not both the same action. One's a bit lighter than the other, but none of them are too light or too tight, if that makes sense. They're in that sweet spot where they're just right. Either one would do you. One's a little bit.
And I'd actually like to see how these wear in as well, because they're the kind of knife that will wear it, because you will use it. It'll wear in really, really nicely. Beautiful.
It's one of the nicest. They're not budget because they're going to be about 60 quid, but mid-range. Yeah. It's high end of budget for me. Budget for me now, if all truth be told, is about 0 to 75 quid. But I know a lot of people are a lot less than that. So high budget, but low medium.
Yeah.
Does that make sense? Yeah, I think it does.
Not any way, shape, or form. Okay.
So, but
Slippy saying that he'll wear them in if you send them to him. I don't think you should be sending him any more knives, honestly, because it means that I can't play with them every time I come around here when they're off at his house.
And there's the other exciting part is me and thee are definitely going to the Sharp Show.
Yes,
in October. That's going to be definitely. We're going to book our tickets this week.
Yeah, when we say definitely going, it's like winning the lottery. It would help if we bought tickets. Yes. So we're going to do that.
Oh, do you have to buy the SHOT Show ticket as well?
Yeah.
All right.
Show tickets, but they're only like 7 quid or something like that.
Oh, that's for buttons.
That's no biggie at all. So yeah. So who else is going? Let us know in the comments, and then we can arrange some kind of a meetup.
They're lovely to meet up for breakfast somewhere to get the names out of the way, get to know who it is.
It would also be able to watch out for the ones we want to avoid.
Yes.
Okay. You know who you are, Slip Joint. Okay.
And I was speaking to Mike Knives. I mean, I've bought from him lots over the years, and he's such a nice man to speak to. And he's coming. He hasn't got a stall there this year, so he's looking forward to sitting down with a crowd of us and having a chat. If you don't know, he's the only GEC dealer in the UK, and he's just a lovely fella. And then I've got a big. We'll leave my stupid amount of money spend.
We'll do the nice bits first, and then
we'll do the nice. And then we're leaving, I'll let them know what I paid for a GEC.
Yeah, he did. He sold blood and a kidney, and well, he would have sold the kidney if anybody had taken it off him. But but what are you going to do with it? So yeah, Mikey, we're flying from Belfast probably again if we buy a ticket. Otherwise, I'll probably be swimming the channel, and he'll be
his buoyancy. Throw the fat lad in and swim after him.
Just catch the current and hopefully it'll sweep us across. So anyway, Matt, this is just for you, okay? I have finished. I have completed my sack journey. I will buy no more Swiss Army knives. Yeah, no. If you believe that.
2 years you've been saying it.
Because I got this. Okay. Now, first off, let's get the elephant in the room out of the way. Matthew, this is your favorite knife. Okay. This is a compact. Okay.
And a beautiful knife that it is.
Oh, it is, absolutely. It's a cracker knife. The compact best 2-layer in the market. This is not a 91 millimeter. It is a golfer. Okay. 84 millimeters. It's got scissors, but even better, this is a blade bridge special. It is brass lined.
Yeah, that's the one. That's a good one.
Brass lined. Look at that. Brass liners for the win. It is absolutely gorgeous.
And we were just talking off camera. The weight of it is just perfect.
Really is.
It's heavier. It just feels like it's like the Ferrari of just compacts. It's beautiful.
It is. And yes, you have hindsight. Yes, I suppose in your shovel-like hands, as
Hello, Thrifty.
as opposed to my delicate little princess hands. I don't care. It's an 84mm with scissors. I've been searching
And
for one of
brass.
these for years.
Yeah, you actually got that doesn't happen to many people. You got your grill plus brass.
Yeah,
That's a
exactly
real
so.
grill.
And and it is absolutely true.
Can we give a shout out to the bloke who
Oh,
done it for
absolutely.
you?
So, of course, there's only one man that I would trust with a project like this, and that is Dan at Bladebridge. And that he did an absolute stunning job for me.
It's like it came from the factory. It's just flawless.
It is just absolutely gorgeous, and I will be carrying this
For the rest of your life.
Probably. Well, as long as I can possibly hold on to it. And it's, I mean, absolutely, you're not wrong. And I'm just really pleased that although Dan's closed up shop officially, he's still taking over out of interest and love for the
Dan couldn't stop.
No, he just loves putting these things together,
yeah.
and he's having so much fun putting together the custom ones which are his real passion. And some of the concoctions he comes up with are absolutely fantastic. So it's lovely to see, and it's lovely to be a beneficiary of it. Absolutely. But we'll come back to those a little bit later on, and I'll show you it in comparison to some other ones I've got.
Yeah,
I've
you've got some nice ones to show. Yeah.
So you can see some variations. I've got quite a few variations on the compact that I'll sling in.
So let us know on the chat here who got what this week, especially if it was a standout knife, maybe a bit different than the usual. Let us know what you got, and then we can ask you questions about your knife, because I'm more interested in what you've got than what I've got sometimes. I just love seeing what people get and why they like it. So if you've
share
got
it with the leprechaun. Share it with the leprechaun.
Well, I've got two.
Okay. Oh, Slippy's got a wee secret there.
Oh,
something special in the works. We'll be looking forward to that. One. Okay, so I suppose we should get on to the main event in terms of, well, not the main event, but the fourth act, third act. No, you want to go for
hold them off. Yeah, I was just going to say I had a very very strange happening today. It's something that came out of the left field from nowhere. A couple of months ago, I got this call from a fella. I'd said I was selling off some of my knives. Anybody wanted to know, especially if you're in the UK or Northern Ireland, give us a shout. Because I pass them on. And this fella came on called Stuart, had a lovely chat with him. He said, "Can I call down?" And I invited him down for a cup of tea, and so he could pick his knife because he didn't live far away. In fact, not that much further than you, he's only in Hollywood. And so Stuart came down, and we had a couple of hours of just great chat on a personal level and knives. And I think, again, a lot of people who like knives, when you meet them, they have a lot of traits that you have as well, because anybody who spends so much money on objects that they never get a chance to use because they got too many and then buy more, you have something in common, even if it's just madness.
Yes, and
You've
I think
got
the
something in
madness
common.
is definitely there.
And
if anybody else would like to share any ideas about what those shared characteristics are, please put them in the comments.
How to stop them?
What medication works best for them?
But yes, a really lovely chat with him. And during the conversation, he just threw up that he was a minister. And I thought, that's lovely. He wanted sacks. He loves his sacks. He hasn't ventured much further than that. But he's very much, it'll come. I've told him that. But he's very much into EDC carry, the wallet. He carries a pouch with all those things in it, all different tools. And he's really getting into it and really enjoying it. And we both came to it from the hobby, from a reason that a lot of people come to it. And not everybody, of course, but I've met so many people that have gone through bad times in their lives or depression or whatever, and they find this as a hobby, and it lifts them. It gives them that little, boost. And ministers are the same human beings as us, and they get like this. And Stuart had got like this, and he was watching a lot of the American channels, and then he said he just turned over and he heard this bloke. He said, "I know that accent. That's somewhere. That's not America." And he looked, Paddy's potato peelers. He said, "I'll have to try that." And That's how he found it. So it's just chance that people find you, and then for money to live, 8 miles up the road.
There's
Just
got to be a few of us.
there
There's
must
got to
be
a
more
few.
and more. Well, when I came on here, I had nobody to talk to here. Nobody in Northern Ireland. I had one fella down in Dublin that I would have chatted to a lot. And then Paul, I met Paul. He's up Bantrim way.
Yeah, that's right.
So, I mean, but now there must be 10 to 12 good.
There's bound to be enough for a support group now.
Definitely. But it's the one thing that I want to do is get a meeting where we hire a hall and we all come and meet.
Well, now you're going to minister, you might have a hall.
No, that brings me on to the second part of the story.
Oh, yes, I love this bit.
Up in his church on a Thursday afternoon, they have a little chat time where they invite a speaker in to talk for half an hour. Not a half hour, but they invite somebody to come and talk for half an hour. But when I went there, he told me there'd just be a couple of, sort of men there that will just sit around. When I turned up today, I couldn't believe there was 30 odd people there, and most of them were women. And I thought, I'm in big trouble because I didn't bring any women's size knives. I know women can use any knife, but I didn't bring any small ones because I thought it was going to be mostly men. But we had such a lovely afternoon. And we talked on personal basis then, how it led into my knife collection. I took 2 boxes of knives up, let them all have a fiddle with them. The wee competition, and they won a little, the little sack I have. It's just got the screwdriver and bottle opener and the scissors, but it was done in wood.
Oh, yes.
It was done. It was a wee custom one. So they had to guess the price of my Herman knives. Oh, well, you have never.
When they saw the price,
it was wonderful because they were coming up and so I said, "Oh heavens, that must be at least 50 quid. That will be 30 quid." I had 2 women. One who said, "I'm going to go really, really high now." And I think she said, what'd she say? It was like 750, and it was just a random guess. And she smiled and walked off. And this other woman, he said it was 2,000 or just below 2,000, whatever she said. And I thought, and she giggled. She said, "I just doubled what I thought." And walked off. And she was the one that won it. So it was amazing how the interest it got. And so one of the old women, the minister had said, if you've got a hobby, bring some of the stuff from your hobby and we can put it on the table and have a look at it. Well, this one girl came out with little pocket pen knives, a little gathering of pen knives that were her father's. Really? Now, he had died quite a while ago. This is an elderly woman. He had died quite a while ago, but they were left and she didn't know what to do with them. But sitting in a box for her. And she brought them in and she had a George V little pen knife. It would have been a tourist piece sort of thing.
But from the start of the century, the 1900s. Good grief! And
then she brought in a couple of other UK maker knives. One was brand new, still it was like twisted paper wrapped up the way it came. Hadn't been used. It was a beautiful knife, and I was going to offer her there and then, but I thought, no, this is not the time. But I really, some beautiful knives. So it was. I spoke to probably more women than I did the men. The men came up as well, but. It was a breath of fresh air. It was lovely. And most of them were all, up to nearly pension age and beyond. One couple today had just got the letter from the King and Queen for being married 60 years.
Oh my good God.
So they brought the picture in, absolutely cracking picture of the King and Queen. Really one of the nicest I've ever seen. So it was just to come from nowhere. It was amazing.
And a real lift as well.
It was a lift.
Yeah, absolutely.
Absolutely to me and to Stuart.
Because, I mean, like anything else, I mean, public speaking is one of those things, especially in a crowd that you don't know, or it's a complete bunch of strangers. And apart from anything else, the balls it must have taken to actually say yes and go and do it.
That's if you were scared of it. But I think being in the Navy, I'm used to speaking to people. Now, not a room full of, sort of pensionable age and above. People talking about knives, because when you mention knives, you can see them all go, ooh. And it was that reaction you get from the public when you say you collect knives. And so it was nice to be able to go in and say, I've never thought of a knife as a weapon. I've never thought of using a knife as well. I've never stabbed anybody. I've never thought about stabbing it. Well, no, yeah. But it was nice to just go in and talk about my hobby, talk about my life and how I got into it, which was probably more interesting to them than the knives.
Mhm.
But it was the knives that brought us into that room. And I know some of them left with a different thought about knives. And I
They
talked
feel
about
I've learned
sharpening.
something.
Yeah,
Yeah.
talked about sharpening. And of course, the women were coming up and asked, how do you sharpen your kitchen knives? Kept very quiet in that because you could end up with arms loads of kitchen
Oh,
knives.
you
They're
really
all
good.
points broken in. But honestly, I had an absolute joy. So Stuart and all the members of his church, you know who you are. I had a wonderful time. And, you know, if it happens again, it happens again. But I thoroughly enjoyed talking with you, meeting with you. What a lovely group of people you have up there, Stuart. And yeah, I'll maybe talk about that in another episode more distinctly about why. But yeah, I had a ball, I had an absolute ball.
So yeah, and I mean,
And can I just show this?
Yeah, go ahead.
I got home and he gave me a wee parcel left. He says, "Got you a wee present," and there you go. Look at
Another
that.
one for the coin collection.
Yes, this is Athenians. This is the strength, the warrior with his sword and his shield, and it goes through and it gives you all the meanings of them. But no, it's a biblical thing. I was at a church with a minister. I am absolutely chuffed. This lovely brass coin, and it's got Ephesians written down there. Yeah, it's got it written down there on the back. Absolutely chuffed. So, Stuart, thank you very, very much. You'll see this a lot in the channel.
Yeah, excellent.
So there you go.
And it definitely kicked off the conversation. Conversation and the thing. Thrifty wants to know the secret of your success with all the ladies, and
I did get a few numbers. I didn't waste my time. Hollywood has some beautiful women, let me tell you. Also, I at least still have a wee bit left.
Obviously, it is the fact that you're a player and you have loads of Irish charm. Now, the fact that Sally knows nothing about this, and I am about to squeal on him is between you, me, and the fence post. But thank you for that. In terms of what the guys have been sharing with us, we've got a load of people with some new knives. Special Ed has got a Rosecraft French Broad Jack.
Yes, I've got one of them coming.
Excellent.
And I have also the River Jack, the white bone that's like the serpent. You know, it's like a.
Or is it
the upswept blade on it?
The Skinner.
Yeah. It looks beautiful too.
Look
so
nice.
I think I've got them two coming shortly. I don't know when they come, but the French Broad looks amazing.
It is a lovely looking one, actually. Yeah.
And it's different. I mean, yes, they're not wildly different than knives out there, but there's just that wee bit about them. I mean, that jigging on that, I still believe it's deer feet. I know they're saying it's not, but to me, it looks like deer feet.
Said the same thing.
Yeah, it's deer feet. That's what I was saying last week. And it's lovely to see
dragon scales, man. It's dragon scales. This is my Dungeons and Dragons knife.
Well, that's where the deer came from. They were descended from a dragon that had feet.
They're prey, my man. They're just prey.
But were they always? They could have been the hunters.
Okay, now that's really messed with my mind. Okay, Crispy's just saying that he got a Boker Tree Band single blade trapper. And I think are you still waiting on delivery, Crispy, or have you actually got it in hand? Because that does sound like a beauty. Special Ed also got another one. There's no show without punch. He got himself a Boker Gentleman's Club.
I love my club. Honestly, you're gonna love this. It's a gorgeous knife.
Well, Adrian, who we had on last week, has been. Those are two. He's been showing those knives for weeks now, and they're just. I mean, I think his wife actually bought it. Yes. This is the funny thing, right? My wife foolishly asked me what I wanted for my birthday this year, and I said, "Look, you're sending me to Spain and to the Sharp Show. You let me go to Spain and to the Sharp Show in September and October. So, I mean, I can't really, in good conscience, ask for anything else." And then I showed her Adrian's video of him saying, "This is what my wife got me for my birthday."
You have to hit while the iron's hot.
So, keep on telling me.
I've got the one with just the plain blade on it. And I just think, look at that wood. Isn't that just, it's ironwood. It's got the most beautiful striations there. Look at that.
It really is.
It's a real gentleman's wood. I believe ironwood. It's just got class.
It really is.
It really has got class.
Very, very
and then I just got the normal steel blade with the. I can't remember what this is. Is it? I think it's 9CR. Not 9CR. N690.
N690. That's unusual for traditional.
Well, They used to do
Something
Boker would have done a lot of 440C in their knives.
Yeah, saying 690.
And 690,
Yeah.
yeah.
Ooh,
So I
wow.
mean, this is just a beautiful gentleman's knife. It's just, it's the single blade, so it's thin, but it has depth here where you
Yes,
get
and
the
the shape
handle,
of the
it,
handle because
feel
it
that,
swells
yeah.
slightly as
It's
it comes
just
out.
beautiful in
What
the
is it?
hand,
It's a full handle knife,
isn't it? Yeah, I mean, it's not a small knife. This knife you can take as your main knife for the day. Well, I can.
Very nice.
It's
indeed.
just so well made. It's beautiful. It really is now.
Then other ones we've got Uncommon EDC's got GEC 49 and Blue Camel Bone. Is that one of the wee tiny ones?
Yeah, that's it.
It's the same as my 94.
Yes,
in reverse.
Yeah, I haven't got mine. Mine's
No,
disappeared.
I'm not familiar with the Surge Slip.
Oh yeah, that's Serge Panchenko. Have you heard of him? No.
The name rings a bell, but I don't know what I'm looking at.
What one's he got?
The Surge Slip.
The Surge Slip joint. I couldn't
describe
it now. I think it's the one that's all grey, and it's got like a wee cleaver blade on it or something. I think that's the one. Maybe he'll let us know if it is. I think it's just like a wee cleaver blade.
Excellent. Okay. So, and other people, Mikey Newman has gone. See, that slip joint, that Matthew one has really got a lot to answer for. A Sentinel, an Alox Farmer X, a Huntsman Desert Camo, and a discontinued Duo Pro plus a Benchmade Griptilian this week. Well, at least you got a Benchmade there just to give a wee bit of variety in there as well. The Alox Farmer X, I have a one in blue. It's a cracker. I really love it, but I have to say it's very heavy knife. As a sort of, it's the Alox version of the Huntsman without the back tools. And
yes, but you're saying that now, and I agree with what you're saying. For daily carry, it is just a wee bit. But yet your knife, because it's small, you'll take the weight.
Oh yeah, I know.
It's not quite strange though, isn't it? It really is strange. A bigger knife with a more tool, if you like. It's still lighter than your small one, but yet you're putting it down for being heavy. Isn't that strange?
It is. It is the weirdest thing.
But is it not the depth that makes a difference rather than the weight?
Well, for the Farmer X, yes,
that's the scissors.
It's because it's a very substantial knife. It's a fantastic tool set. It's absolutely cracking tool set. You couldn't fault it. But actually, that reminds me, my other carry. You see, here's the thing. I've been doing a multi-tool format's just a wee special edition slip for a cadet, but I've got my lumberjack in it. Okay, this is my lumberjack. Lumberjack
must be a saw in it.
Blade, combo tool, and if I can get it out, that's what she said.
I've got one of them, haven't I?
You get the Walker.
The Walker,
which is the Celador version. Okay, so this is I don't know if you can see that. This is the Sack Collectors 2000. This is the Sack Alox UK Special Edition knife. This collector's edition knife this year. But that I've been carrying today. It's just there's no weight in it at all. It's just a fantastic wee knife. But I've been doing the Alox challenge from the start of August. So this is day 10. This is my carry for day 10. And it's been really good. I've been basically for the multi-tool challenges, you just carry a given knife each day for a month and take a picture of it or whatever. But this is my carry today. The thing that I've enjoyed most is that I've been able to carry a different knife each day. And I've got another 20 days to go, but I've got another 10 knives that I haven't used yet. It's so cool. It really
I love that little slip.
That came with the Cadet, the same color as this, the Cadet Special Edition 2012. And it's just a perfect size.
I mean, I would throw mine in my pocket, but that is just really pretty.
Yeah, it just works quite nicely.
And again, if somebody asks you for a knife, bringing that out takes all the heat out of it. I know it's not a big blade anyway, but it just calms it all down. It does. Gentlemanly.
Yeah. Because you're not tossing them a knife or opening a knife and handing it. You just say, there you go, use it if you want to.
Yeah, it really does. It's funny. And did we say about the price of the wee competition? Yeah, didn't they? When I was up at the church, they gave them prices. I asked them to name the prices. Did I say that?
Yeah.
All right, that's all right. Sorry.
And one woman said £2,000.
Yeah,
doubling it.
Yeah, she said, I'm just going to double what's in my head.
Did she win?
Yeah, she was. And
were they stunned?
I couldn't believe. Honestly, most of them, the highest sort of average was about 70 quid.
Yeah.
And I know they were adding money onto it because when they looked at it, they said, oh, that is just beautiful. Damascus. You could see that they thought it was beautiful, but I don't think they realized just how much we invest in something. And I expect that fully. Nobody's going to think a right-minded person's going to spend £1,350 for a knife.
But here's the thing, and it only struck me lately, even though when it haven't struck me, it sounds so obvious now, is the thing I compare it most to. I mean, we compare it to jewelry, obviously, but the thing actually that I find best to compare it to is watches.
Yeah.
High-end watches. I mean, that cost me 10 quid. I just replaced it last week. Cost me 10 quid. I've got a couple of other watches that are more than this, but I don't have any really high end,
No, not do I.
That Rolex
mine's a rotary, was my dad's, and I just wear it.
Yeah,
and I wear it for everything. I've got the Timex and the older ones up there. Two of them.
Yeah, absolutely.
I've one that I bought for 15 quid off AliExpress ones, all steel, but it's lovely. It works, and that's all I need.
And I mean, those are your Rough Riders,
yeah,
which you use for every day or whatever else. But then you get your, and I mean, I know my cousin went out and bought himself or asked for a Rolex for his birthday. This is like £3,000 to £5,000 worth of wristwatch. I mean, what does it do different? It doesn't slow down time or speed it up.
We have that same thing. I wouldn't spend that in a watch.
Yeah,
but I'll spend that on
a knife. Yeah, so and what does a knife do? What does an expensive knife do that
a Rough Rider
knife doesn't do?
Yeah.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
It does, I mean, it's a knife. It's a knife. It's a knife. But the value is in terms of whatever you want to put into it, but also in terms
and how you feel when you're carrying it. Nobody out there that you're walking past knows that your head's up and you're going,
hey, I've got a Herman.
If I could show you what's in my pocket,
you'd be arrested.
Yeah. But I mean, it's that pride of ownership that just lovely. It really is just like, and like, I know I didn't pay the money for I have spent money on dear ones.
Yeah.
But I mean, that one at 1,350 is way beyond anything that my bank balance I know will ever get to. But you see, having it doesn't matter because it's mine. All mine.
And it's all special. Absolutely. So let's have a look at the comments. We've got some new ones. That's the
if you're a new person, give us a shout out. Or to give us a shout out. Let us know you're a new person so we can welcome you just by words alone. But
we've got a few old. There's Tony, the man himself.
Tony, the man, yes.
We're going
to have Tony back on because he has got new knives to see. Have you seen his Instagram? They make me cry.
I am up for that anytime.
Yes, we'll get that anytime. Tony, in about 2 weeks' time, we'll have Ben on.
But if we do have Tony on? What I have to do is I have to get like some kind of porn soundtrack to go with it, because I mean that's what it is.
Yeah,
it is really nice porn. It is.
If you don't follow him, go there. He is Slide Tech on there. You'll see him in the chat, and he's in every week. Go on his Instagram. If you want to see high-end knives, this man has just feasted. We had him, if you go back in the podcast, we had Tony on before, and he showed us his high-end knives. And honestly, it's a drool fest. Bring a hanky or a bib if you're that way inclined. But it was beautiful to see. And he was at another show there, and I know he bought a few just gems.
But this is the beauty about Tony as well. He's not a knife snob. He collects wonderful knives, but he also likes to collect, just normal knives as well. And
but he takes them out, and you see pictures of him eating he lives in California. There's this salad sitting there, a big salad, and his knife in the middle of the salad, or his whatever he has for his lunch. But his knives are classless. They're just beautiful.
They are just fantastic. Okie dokie. And yes, Thrifty. We've already got tonight's out of a host of many potential quotes. It's a real gentleman's wood.
It really is a gentleman's wood. But I'm going to show you another.
I think he's being sarcastic.
No, not John. John sarcastic. No, I don't believe it. He wants to see my wood.
Yes,
he wants to see my wood.
And here we go. Here's Paddy's wood. You asked for it.
The Jack Wolf knives were the first natural material, which is rosewood, and let me tell you, it is stunning. Look at that. What a lovely piece. Now, as you know, rosewood can change from tree to tree. It really is. You know, you can get a complete different color in the, different. I suppose that really does make sense. It changes from tree to tree.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because they're kind of individual, aren't the trees?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So
I think what you're looking for is the green.
the
can
green
vary from
and the
night to
color
night.
of the wood can really change. But these are just beautiful. Every one I've seen looks great. And it's the laid back Jack. Look at that. How beautiful is that? And if you haven't noticed straight away, have you seen the sharpening choil has been extended? So we're completely clear. And the grind on this is perfection. And it's not an up and down grind. It's a hand rubbed satin. Gonna
Ooh,
from
base to
yes,
tip, from a castle to tip. Oh,
because
God,
all his knives have had the
Yeah, that's
striations.
right.
Yeah,
Shit, I never noticed that.
absolutely, east to west. It's just beautiful.
Oh, yeah, that's lovely. Very nice indeed.
It really is, and it's hand rubbed to perfection. I can't really, I don't think that's going to pick it
No,
up,
not with the light.
but it is hand
Oh,
rubbed.
it is.
Is it picking it up?
Yeah, just about.
Yeah, you can see it. It's so finely done. Sometimes you get hand rub; it can be a bit thick, and it doesn't, sit as nice. But this is just, if I can get it, oh, you can see it. It's just beautiful. So, I mean, and again, I'm not as you know. I tell you exactly how I feel. I'm not a swayback sort of a guy, but Jack Wolf swaybacks are literally minimal swayback. So when I get it in my hand, it does. I don't like the feeling of the swayback.
You always bang on
every time,
about how
don't I?
you hate swaybacks.
But-
For
but-
goodness sake,
but-
wins,
But I'm
wins,
right.
wins.
But I'm absolutely right. But
Well,
this is a lovely round end.
here we go again.
And it's just honestly just a stunning knife. And the different first thing that Justin said, he says, this feels warm. This feels, and it's just so right. Natural material feels completely different.
I'm gonna get a sign. You know the way that Tom has a sign for RJ every time. Yeah, you're gonna do a plug or whatever else. I'm gonna every time a potential innuendo comes up, I am going to put a sign up from now on. All right, I've got to get that prepared.
Just clean your mind.
Yeah, I can't.
You bad little man.
And I really need to get this out. I really do need to get this out, but I'm not going to. I'm going to let it go. Thrifty, I think you know where my mind is going, right down into the gutter. Thank you very much.
This is just a gorgeous knife, I have to say. I've had this in my pocket since I got it, and it is just beautiful. And this blade, honestly, I don't know how to keep this. The grind is so just perfect. I know, I'm saying it again, but it is. It's just beautiful. So hopefully this is a start of more natural materials. A little bit of jig bone, Ben, if you're just in case you were listening. A bit of jig bone, a bit of stag, a bit of elephant.
I have to say that I mean, Stassa had the purple midnight.
Yeah,
one.
the midnight.
Oh my God! I mean, we talked about that before, and we're worried that it would be a wee bit too synthetic or plastic or whatever. But then when I saw it, honest to God, it is. It's much more modern sort of mindset than that. But it is just stunning.
And it's funny. This is what Ben has this habit of shocking us very often during the year when he brought them out. This one you're getting wood and you're getting then plain titanium, which is a host of newer people coming into slip joints love just plain titanium.
I don't get that. But we've talked about this before. So
but then there's jig titanium, which looks amazing. And I would love to get the jig titanium, send it to somebody and get the bottom half colored.
Anodized?
Yeah, get it anodized. I would love a blue jig
anything
titanium.
to lift it out of the grey. It's the grey that depresses me.
But it's really strange because they say that about us. We like the whole wood. What do you want to look at a tree for all day?
Yeah. Horses for courses.
Horses for courses, exactly. And then he had that all blacked out one with an amazing plastic.
You're still not
I'm not modern, and I'm not into modern.
See,
much.
I really like that. I mean, I first came across Kieran on custom Swiss Army knife scales. Slippy's actually got some Kieran scales dented, and the material itself is just amazing. And then Slide Tech was actually saying that Kieran has been used for years.
Countertops, kitchen countertops.
So it's been around for ages. But as a knife scale, it just takes up such a polish, and the patterns in it are just unbelievable.
Yeah, I sort of like the patterns because the carbon fiber, some of the patterns. One of my favorite knives is the Big Bro, and I've got the red, white, and blue big, and I love it, absolutely love it. But
I know, I know. Well, everybody's going to have their own particular passion.
Yeah, and I still love that one. Don't get me wrong, but the traditionalist in me, and I'm becoming more and more a traditionalist. I really am. I don't know if you've noticed. I have so many wooden knives now. It's what I look for first when I'm looking for a new knife. Although I have ordered this GEC, but I'm not going to tell you about that till the end. What I paid for this is a normal price for a GEC. And I'm going to give you a little clue. On the secondary market now, the knives are only out about 2 weeks, I believe, or something like it's away north.
Yeah.
And they're going for $700 in the secondary market. Isn't that just
madness?
That is madness. I mean, the price is wild enough as it is.
There we go. It is just insane. Yeah. Let's see. I'm just looking at some of the comments here to see.
Thank you, Ro. It's really nice to see. Is that Ro?
No, that's Slippy. I'm being rude.
No,
rude
who's that?
Yeah, I'm coming to raw feeding 101.
Oh, it's raw feeding, right?
Paddy the Perv 20. Rub the wood. Yes.
Yeah, you're very welcome, Ro. It really is. LT Right Frontier first review. Is that you saying you're going to give one, or you would like me to do it? I've got 2 of these little small LT Rights. I'll do them maybe if you are interested in them, and being as you knew about next week, I'll do a review of the both of them. The little small ones in the box there, I can't get it, but I love this little knife, 3-finger knife. But oh man, it's just a beauty.
And then we've got some of our newbies in. We've got Callan Questions Narrative, our Texas farmer.
Is it getting too complicated? Make them simple. I like Butch or Dwayne or something. I can't remember that.
You can't spell Dwayne for crying out loud. There aren't enough vowels in it.
Dwayne.
Callan.
Dwayne.
Callan. There you go. And we've got Sean and MBEDC. MBEDC, I think, has been in the sanitarium a couple of nights.
Most of you lads have.
Yeah.
Sadly, the doors were locked.
Yeah, and then Colleen is relatively new as well, as far as I know. So we
do you guys do straight razors? No, I don't. I haven't picked up one yet. I'd be tempted. You see, if I got a straight razor, I'd want to use it live and do a shave.
You've got the case razor.
Yeah,
but
I'm not gonna.
Yeah.
No, it's
you're not going to shave with it.
No, but I'll let them see. This is as close as I come to a straight razor.
Which is a lovely little knife.
Look at that. You don't see many of them to the pound. Tell me the last time you seen one of them, a case knife with stag and a razor. It's yeah, you can get 3 fingers on it if you sneak up there. But it's a beautiful little knife, 3-finger. Look, really, it's actually quite secure in hand. I actually prefer, you see, if someone's an in-between fingers, I find them awkward, but a 3-finger, I just put my 4th in the bottom and just wrap around. And it's so secure. There's nothing. I'm agile. I can still move it about. So this is just a very unusual case knife. There's not many of these to the pound that I know of. What was that?
Absolutely. Oh, there's so many on here. Carbon fiber has come miles in the past year, says Slide Tech.
Yeah, it really has.
And there's Slippy saying he has a case copper night in
Copperhead.
Yeah, Copperhead.
I seen that. Is that the blue? Yeah, that's the blue. I've seen it on Moonraker, the blue one, I think it is.
Yeah, and yes, yes, Thrifty. Yes, absolutely. I don't like sway backs. I've sold all of mine off. And then up comes a Jack Wolf knife with the right material.
When I say sold all, I still have the odd one. There's another beautiful case. Look at that little sway back.
That is a lovely one.
It is just a beautiful. But I mean, it's a wee sway back too.
The main thing, and the main message that John is trying to make is that you can't be trusted.
Definitely definitely don't trust me. Don't trust me at all, ever.
As variable as the weather. As variable as the weather. Okay, so You're all very welcome. It's lovely to see you all in the chat. We've got
It really
41.
is.
Good grief,
That's
41
great.
people. We're three
Yeah,
quarters of an
brilliant.
hour in. It feels like we haven't been here at all yet.
Should we actually tell them about our channel and the growing of our channel? I know I did in the beginning because it's my house and you're not playing if you don't do it right.
Fair enough.
But before we became partners, and now we're complete 50-50 partners on what we're doing on the channel, which I just love. And to watch you come on and have the confidence to say, no, let's do this, it just brightens my whole day up. But I've always been under the thing, I don't want this channel to be a giveaway channel. I don't want it to be somewhere where people feel they have to come and donate money. I just want it somewhere that people can come once a week and have a chat.
Yes.
Now, and we could go on for 3 hours. I know there's some of you would stay, but to me, it's not keeping it for. I look forward to this hour and a quarter,
whatever.
hour and a bit. I look forward to this more than any video during the week. And I know you're
no. But the main thing is it's because of the guys.
chat,
because the crack in the chat box is just it feeds our particular. I don't know, patter or nonsense or whatever
weird,
else.
twisted sense of humor.
And weird, twisted sense of humor. And yes, did you miss the go? What go? Yes, you missed the go, Dr. Drew Dude, but you did win it. But it's lost in the post somewhere.
But there will be giveaways. But I would rather.
That's not what you're coming here for.
I don't want people to come.
You get lucky.
I will do a big giveaway, one for my whole channel for everybody. But for this group of people, on a Thursday night, there will be a big giveaway rather than a lot of small ones. I'll do a big one, and it'll be a really good quality knife, and it'll be a slip joint. I don't see why I would change that. But I'll buy a brand new slip joint, and I mean buy, not one I'm given. I'm going to buy it for this Thursday night, and that'll be for Christmas. And I know lots of people. I just want this. It's about the crack and enjoying watching that there. I love going back on it, having a look at it. It's just perfect. Yeah. So thank you very much. We haven't pushed it. We're not, going mad with advertising, but you'll maybe have noticed this last 2 weeks we've upped our game when we advertised it a couple of days before.
Yeah, that's only because.
But I think it's, for me, building this slowly is what gets people coming back. Because if you go too fast, there's too many people that don't know each other. This way,
everybody gets to know each other.
Are getting to know each other.
Really good. We've got at least half a dozen people in that we haven't seen before.
Yeah, that's marvelous.
And I mean, you're really welcome, and we hope you come back, and we hope that everybody else is treating you well in there. So no abuse in the chat, or you'll answer to the Hobbit.
Yeah, we have a bouncer, and he's mean.
Here he is. Don't forget the bouncer. Okay. Anyway, we've been talking too much about touchy-feely stuff, so let's show them another knife.
Yeah, do you want to tell us a wee bit more about your
because I was watching. Okay, I'm going to do a very quick 101. Very quick 101 in terms of we're going to use this as the central participant. Okay, so this is a very quick 101 instructional on Swiss Army knives and why they're cool. Okay, so this is pretty much like this. Okay, these are 84 millimeter knives. I love the 84 millimeter because it's just a lovely little pocket carry, fine knife, good tool set, good size knife, but it's very, very small. This is a 91 millimeter, okay? And it is just ever so slightly bigger. You can do the math, as they say in the States. You can do the math and work out how much bigger it is, all right? Again, these are both 2-layer knives. Okay, sorry, I should do it that way. So they sit nice and slim in the pocket, okay? Both of them are lovely, lovely knives, but 91, 84. I like the 84, but the trouble with the 84 is you no longer can get an 84 millimeter production Swiss Army knife with scissors, okay? You just can't get them. You can get the Delamont version, which is 85 millimeter, which I have an example here. Okay, so this is a Wenger, and it's a millimeter bigger, and this one does have scissors, but they're crap. Okay, so we don't talk about them anymore.
It looks fatter, doesn't it?
It is. It's a 3-layer.
All right. Oh, there you go.
It's a 3-layer. It's the Wenger version of the Climber. It's called the Traveler, but the scissors are rubbish. Well, they're not rubbish. It's just I don't like them.
They're not as good as Swiss Army.
There is 91 and 84. They're not as good as the Swiss Army. You're quite right. So lovely. Anyway, Slippy did the 5 best army knives, or the 5 best urban carry army knives, and he quite rightly decided that the compact was probably the king of urban carry. Okay, because it has scissors, a knife, a pen, believe it or not, in there, and all kinds of other bits and pieces, and it is just an ideal knife. Okay, now I'm just going to come quickly to the comments. Yeah, I'm not sure of the name. I haven't got the name, but I like Evolution scissors. You're quite entitled to your opinion, even though it's wrong. Okay. I am only joking here. I mean, but don't take it too far. But you're still wrong. Anyway, so that's the compact. Now, when Slippy was doing his 5 best urban carry knives, the compact exists like this with a corkscrew in the back, and he got a lot of comments saying if only they did a compact with a back Phillips. Okay, so guess what? This is a compact with a back Phillips. Okay, it's called Compact Tinker. Okie dokie. Now, you can't buy these. I made this. All right, but it is the simplest mod that you can do, because you can just substitute the back tool by hammering out the pin and putting it back in again. Now, it's still involved, but if you're ever going to practice doing that, you can do that. But it is an absolutely fantastic carry, simply because the back tool is smoother in the hand and a lot easier to carry.
And I just want to check, because you're more up on it. Dan over at Bladebridge, is it worth giving him a ring and asking him to do mods like this for you still?
Well, Dan, it's always worth dropping him a wee email. Yeah. Now, in or actually, probably his best point of contact is his Instagram. Now, you never know.
Yeah.
No, generally he just tends to do. I think he's doing ones for companies now, as special one-offs. But look,
I think if you get him excited,
yes, it's always worth trying him. And more to the point, you could probably just send him the parts, and he'd be more than happy to put it together for you. But check with him first. I would hate to get him into trouble.
No.
But at the same time, I wouldn't like to do him out of any business. But he would be. Put it this way, he could probably do it in 20 minutes for you. And he is that good at putting these things together.
He really is, and he's honed it.
But I have to agree categorically with Slippy that the compact is probably the best knife to have in terms of sack. They are also one of the more ridiculously expensive for what you're getting Swiss Army knives. So be prepared with that going in. But it's just they're a fantastic knife, and they get one that is effectively a compact but in a smaller chassis is dream come true stuff for me, especially now that it's in brass, which adds a wee bit of heft to it and a little bit of substance, but it's lovely.
So, I can't believe how nice this is in the hand. Now, it's by no means a lead weight. It's a brass weight. But it's not heavy. It's not, but it feels just, it feels expensive compared to just an ordinary sack, if that makes any sense. And you look at it and you see that brass coming back at you.
It just pops, doesn't it?
Yes, because it's so unusual. And you look, because you're not expecting that look. And I just think it is stunning.
It is a gorgeous.
Not my favorite knife. The one you made me is still my favorite. That's right. It was the one I took today when I wanted to show people, because I just love it. Because for me, the tools that are in that are perfect for me.
But the funny thing about it is that knife that I made you is 2-layer. 2-layer for me is a sweet spot.
Yeah.
And it's also got the back Phillips. And MBEDC, you're saying the back Phillips, they're not the best in the world, because actually on the tee, they're good for torque, as Paddy always says, but they're not the easiest to get into tight spaces because your knuckles are always in the way.
I got Justin to do mine. I have one on the inside for when I want, I just want to get a kid's toy out.
Yeah.
But if you've got a bigger screw, or slightly bigger, a 2, when you put that in, you can get torque on it.
Mm-hmm.
Kids' toys are never that tightly torqued. They're only wee small screws. So I've got the 2 screwdrivers, one in line, one for torque. I've got a magnifying glass. I've got a knife
and a small knife.
And a small knife.
Yeah.
And it's just, I absolutely adore it.
Crack on me knife.
And I just clip it in my pocket every day. I carry it every day.
Yeah.
There's another one that I carry sometimes, but That's so small. The other one I've got in my Carta is the bigger one. Is it the Super Tinker?
Yeah, the Super Tinker is
And
another
it's
one of Slippy's
like
favorites.
it's a 4-layer knife,
Three.
3-layer knife. See,
Yeah.
that counting thing's not. It's all overrated. But I mean, it's just much bigger compared to a 2-layer. Yeah,
There's a
it
lot
feels
more
like a
substance to
4-layer.
it, yeah.
You know?
I mean, there's
So-
the equivalent to
Yeah.
there, and it's in exactly the same. They're a match,
Uh-huh.
you know. But
Just
it's just the funny thing about it is that the back tools, for me, it's not about the use of the tool, the functionality of the tool. For a Swiss Army knife, the reason I prefer the tool, the Phillips on the back, is because it's more comfortable in hand. Because the corkscrew digs into your hand when you're using the knife.
yeah.
The Phillips is almost smooth. Now, ideally, that's what I would like on it. Because honestly, I agree. The Phillips is not a great tool. You're not going to use it that much. The corkscrew, how often do we use a corkscrew these days?
Mhm.
Although it's handy for holding the screwdriver. That's the Recruit in Toffee. I just love that we knife.
Yeah.
And the smooth back tools are brilliant.
Mhm.
And that's why the Allocs are good, because they're all smooth on the back. Allocs are fantastic for that. Because they're all smooth on the back. But I've whittled on.
No, I want you
enough.
to go through that. This is a knife I see. I love this because it has
Is
a.
that the Spartan light? No,
it-
it's a. Ooh.
It's got a torch on it. It's got an inline screwdriver.
Yeah, it's the Spartan light. Yeah, it's the Spartan light.
Spartan light.
Yeah.
Isn't that? I mean, I just think that's a lovely, and it's 3-layer, a bit bigger, but having that torch on it and things like that. If you were in somebody who inspects the insides of anything, the torch on it is fantastic.
It works really well.
Uh-huh.
Actually. And it
And
goes,
it's replaceable batteries.
and that's a decent Phillips.
Uh-huh.
Okay. But this is just a standard Spartan, no scissors, with the middle section given over to the Phillips and the torch, and it's called the Spartan light.
But that torch lights up a room.
Yeah, it's
In the dark.
actually remarkable.
Uh-huh.
It's a good wee torch.
It goes right round from the back over in the. But I never see anybody talking about it.
Uh-huh.
Why it isn't popular? Can anybody explain why it isn't popular? It's only 3-layer. It's not massive.
No, it's not massive.
It's light.
It's not popular because it doesn't have scissors. Believe it or not. For Swiss Army knives. Swiss Army knives. It's.
I mean, you've got a knife.
Yeah, but if then by that logic, what the hell have you got a torch on it for?
To see.
Carry a torch.
Why? If you have it on your knife, cut down. I still carry a torch, but I've got that in my pocket.
I can't believe he just said that. I honestly can't believe he just said that.
But I mean,
this is the man. I'm going to chat. What have you got in your pockets?
I've taken them all out.
Oh.
I've only just come back from there, and I had.
What did you have in your pockets?
I had my Jack Wolf knives. I had my the Swiss Army you made me. I have this on my belt, and I just keep carrying now. I just cannot. This Bexair or Bayer, the Bayer. This carry on the back of my eye. I mean, that's thin. Never mind your Swiss Army. That's thin, and that's better than any pair of scissors I've ever had. So I had 3 knives on me. I had my wallet. I had my notebook. I had a hanky for doing my glasses more than anything else, and I had a pen and a flashlight.
So you had a torch.
Yeah.
So a flashlight for.
But I wasn't carrying this.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm. But you had another sack. When do you ever carry that?
I don't.
Because
it's too big.
Because it's got no scissors. Exactly. Everybody agrees with me. Nobody agrees with you. It's as simple as that. Scissors are life. You're quite right. Even Tony says a sack ain't a sack without scissors.
Tony,
don't apologize, Tony.
Tony can't be right all the time. This is one time where he's wrong.
No, he's right on this occasion.
I'm very much in his high end. He's right on them. I've never seen one I couldn't carry, but no.
Yes, it is it's a Spartan light.
You do know that what is the point of carrying a pair of scissors? Your wife has them in her handbag. You don't need to do that. Or have a wee knife in your keychain that's got a wee pair of scissors.
Which is another knife. And you're talking about cutting down.
But scissors, yeah, but a knife, you're carrying another knife. Think what you've said. It's a knife channel. You carry another knife. And scissors.
I can't say anything because I carry at least 2 knives because I've been corrupted by you. Speaking of corruption, I've got another
Oh.
story. Got another story. But yes, it's a Spartan 3-layer. It's not the normal Spartan because it's got the light layer in it. It's called the Spartan Light, as far as I know, anyway. Yes, Scott's EDC and such. The idea of not carrying a flashlight is insanity,
Isn't it just? I agree with you. Carrying two. I mean,
I agree. I mean, I carry a flashlight everywhere, I have to say. So it's always.
I have a wee slip that I can put my pen. I have the wee Olight small pen and a wee Olight AAA battery.
Yeah.
And I carry them everywhere. It just goes in my pocket first thing every day, along with that sack. Now I'm sad to say he's got me hooked.
Yeah. I'm a Nightcore Tiki man myself.
I'm a Nightcore
Tiki.
Oh yes,
the wee tiny ones.
I have a dwarf, but I must have.
Oh no! You've got as many flashlights as you have. Like
yeah.
Like the watches, it's another rabbit hole.
No, yeah, well, I never paid for any of them.
Really?
There were ones at the beginning of my channel, and on recently, I get given the sent to me to review, but I carry wee tiny ones because they're so much easier to recharge. They're so much easier to have a battery,
and yet they're so powerful.
See, here's the thing: you know, the 2-is-1 rule. I love having. I usually have at least one or two. Well, no, at least two flashlights. If I'm going to walk a dog, and I'll take a bigger one. Or if I'm going out to the garden, I'll take the bigger one because it's brighter to walk with. But I'll always have two small ones. But I like to have one that runs on batteries and one that's USB. Mm-hmm. Because 9 times out of 10, the USB one's going to be the one that's in my pocket and I'll use all the time. And the battery one is backup. I know it's charged. I don't use it because I keep it fully charged.
We were talking about the just in case planning. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
So, I mean, I like to do that. And I think that's gone back to more the bushcraft days of EDC for bushcraft and that.
Yeah.
You know, one is none and
one is one and 2 is one is definitely it's like an earworm. It gets into your head and you can't you just can't get out of it, right? Really. And yeah, I agree. It's insanity not to go out without a flashlight. Yeah, there's Scott's EDC and such. 2 or 3 flashlights. Why? Because I can't see in the dark. Well, and hopefully with one of those you can.
Yeah.
But it's and then what we were saying, the Nightcore Tiki's also awesome. I absolutely agree. I'd love it if they swapped over to USB-C as well, because the micro USB means that you have to carry something else. But it's only a minor one.
Some of my bigger the OLED ones, not even the big ones, but they've got the thing you just plug into the wall and then you just set it's magnetic. You just set it charges. That's just so easy. It really is.
The way the technology's come. I remember when.
Like, there it is.
I mean, we had that's amazing.
And all you do is just plunk your light on.
Plunk it on the top.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
And it charges.
Very nice.
So I like that.
But I remember getting into them when mag lights were all the thing. Remember last week when we had on and we started talking about the D-cell mag lights that you could beat a dinosaur to death with?
When I was in the services, there were the right angle torches with the 2 big D batteries in it, and they would have just about illuminated your boots.
Yeah, I know.
We used to have to go and do rounds, really dark old parts of the camps that have been, rendered useless, but we still had to do rounds the perimeter. And it would be pitch black, and you could just about see your boots before you stood in something, and that was it.
But I remember when you got a 4-cell D-cell, and you just thought it was like a flipping lightsaber because it actually cast light, but it was still, compared to nowadays, it was still such an insipid yellow, that wouldn't light up the back of your hand, but
you get one around the back of your head. That's what.
Oh yeah. Yes, at least it was multi-use.
Yes, multi-purpose.
Randy's in the room. Stephen.
Hello, Randy. Did you get out all right? Did you feed him? I'm only joking, my friend. It's lovely to see you. And
slide text you're saying about battery part. I've moved away. I must admit the rechargeable ones seem to be my go-to at the minute.
I just like that choice of having 2, because if something hit the fan, all electricity is going to be out. So the recharge, unless you're carrying another big reserve battery to charge off.
Well, here's the thing. But here's the thing: if you have even a power bank, you can still recharge your torch off it.
Yeah, you can until that runs out, and then it's done.
Yeah, and it's the same way that your batteries run out.
No, because like AAA and AA are going to be in so many shops, so many places where you can get them. You can take them out of stuff.
Haven't you watched any movies? The first thing that the zombies eat are the AAA batteries. That's what happens. That's how they get their energy.
Bless it. Save me.
Anyway, we're over the hour, Stephen. That's why I'm going
Right.
silly.
I want to do one quick one because this is a great shout out. Now, being a knife person, I've been saying for years on my channel that I'm going to start whittling. Now, I decided I would invest in my mouth, and I asked a lovely lady who's on Instagram. She follows my channel. I don't know if she follows any other knife channels because they're all going to be severe, not as good. And so I just don't know why I said that. But she follows mine, and she's a whittler, and she is amazing. And I contacted. She lives in Europe, so it's Anita Veldman, and I'm sure lots of you have seen her about. But I asked her, would you do me a carving of a little, gnome type person that I could practice? I could use it as a practice. And she said, no problem. And she done this for me. Look at that. Is that not just the cutest damn thing you ever seen? Now, I'm going to say the size of it is, I don't even measure knives now, I'm measuring it is just under 5 inches. But is that not just, she done this in it just over a night and they got it sent out to me. Isn't it just amazing? Look at the detail even in the back of it. So I'm over the moon and I'm going to start practicing. She also sent me some of her special wood that she gets from America. Apparently this is really good for carving. And she lined it all out for me so that I could measure it up against this. And it gives me a pattern. I can start doing just one bit, then another. So Anita, I can't thank you enough. And she charged me a pittance for it.
Just before we go much further, hold that up there, okay? Hold it up.
Yeah.
Okay, because I know that Thrifty's going to ask. Yes, I am taller than him. Just
not as good looking, but taller.
Can't have everything.
So that was just another lovely part of the community. You get somebody that's, she's in there nice for whittling, but it's also joining up with that and comes into our branch. And now I'm going to spread over to hers, which is just fantastic.
Well, you better do because Randy's going to be watching.
You bet. Yeah, I have to. I mean, I will do. I'll just show you bit by bit because I'll be very slow because I want it to look good. Even though it's my first one, I want it to look nice. I haven't got a whittling knife yet, though. I've got plenty of knives I can use, but
when you know what that is?
New Knife Day.
New Knife Day. That sounds like a ready. How the hell can you not have a whittling knife?
Well, I sold all my whittlers because thinking I'm never going to get around to doing this. But I mean, I have plenty of other knives I can use, but I would like to get a special one that's very, very thin behind the edge, like a Jack Wolf.
Okay.
You're putting me off buying a new knife.
No, I never said a thing. Help me out here, guys. Any recommendations for Stephen for a whittling knife, folks?
You know what, true. I'll tell you what.
There's no point in having a whittling knife unless it's a whittling knife.
Here's the madness that's in my head. I want to use this. I've just cut myself really sharp, but it's really thin blade. It's an old.
Wouldn't be a show without.
It's an old barber knife. But these blades, I mean, this one I had to repair. It was a big chip out of it down here. I just filed it off and just put a wicked edge on these. They're the carbon, the old-fashioned thin blade. And I think that would be a great whittler. I suppose you could call it a half whittler because it's only missing the one blade on the other side. But it is nice. And I think that would be a good knife to get started with and then see how I go and what improvements I would need for the next one, rather than going out and buying an expensive knife now and regretting it after I've done it because it wasn't good enough. The thin blades on these here, I think, are perfect because you can strop every 2 seconds. You can just strop it and bring it back to her whittling sharp.
So correct me if I'm wrong here.
You're wrong.
Hear me out.
Oh.
You've just talked yourself out of buying a new knife.
That's stupid. Don't be silly. I would never do that. Right? I'm going to buy the new knife. I'm just putting it off. I will buy a nice new knife, but I'm just I honestly believe this might be the way to go. And if Anita is watching this, what do you think, Anita, as this is a starting point? Because I want to get like we chisely things and pokey things and.
Okay.
I've just been humiliated.
No, not quite, because we've already got some sarky gets in the a half wit. And yeah, a half whittler. Yes, I think yes.
Definitely a half. Yeah,
Yeah.
you're just new, aren't you?
Yeah.
You've got off to a bad start.
He's being influenced by the bullies in the group. That's
All
what
right.
it is. Right, just to close, and before we close off, because we are running out of time here, let me tell you a story about Slipjoint Sawyer's Discord Sanitarium. All right, now I would just like to put out there a public health warning to all of our brothers and sisters in the community here that Slipjoint Sawyer's Discord Sanitarium is a dangerous place. Okay, now here's what happened. Right, I was on the sanitarium talking to the guys. Randy was there. Thrifty turned up late as always, and I think Special Ed was there actually at the same time. And we were talking away, and I happened at the same time to get a promotional email in from Heine Haynes, right, saying, "Oh, there's a new edition of the Solus, the Real Steel Solus, Heine Special Edition, 30 quid. Boom, off you go." I looked at it and thought to myself, well, I've got the G-Slip compact that would make a nice twin to it, or a nice little brother knife to it. And I thought, well, why the hell not? So I slung the idea into the sanitarium and said, Matt and the others, do you think I should get it? And before I knew it, they convinced me, just press the button, Justin. So I ordered the damn thing. Even though I didn't need it, I didn't particularly want it. It was just that my mind had been influenced both by peer pressure and by advertising, effective marketing, it has to be said. So I ordered the flaming knife. Now, buyer's remorse set in the next morning, and I cancelled the order before a day had passed. But it is a salutary lesson for all of us here. We have
salutary. How am I meant to know what that means?
Look it up. I'll spell it out for you later, okay? So it is a dangerous place, is all I'm saying. MBEDC knows what I'm talking about. It is the opposite of Addicts Anonymous, Knife Addicts Anonymous. It definitely is. It is enablers. It is enablers, and I would just like to warn people about it. However, in saying that, it's such fun. It is such great fun.
Well, I'm going to finish because I'm going to give you the price I paid for a GEC knife. Was it yesterday or this morning? Yesterday, off Mike's Knives. He got an extra few in, and I was able to get one. It's away north, so if anybody knows, it's away north. It's Charlie Campagna. It's his knife that he's brought out this year, and it's a number 86 with a beautiful clip. And the other tool is a punch, and it's the proper old big punch with sharpened edge, lovely smooth lines in it, curved lines around the punch. The punch is amazing because I've got one of my well, I can't remember the name of it.
It's like a Stockman's, but it's a Cattleman's, is it?
So I've ordered it, and it should be here tomorrow. And I'm beyond excitement. It's white bone, Charlie Campagna's thing. But you know the price? This is how much they've gone up. £265 it cost me to buy it.
And he's not saying this out of pride, or
not whatsoever.
He's saying this almost out of shame.
It is. I've never spent, about 170 for a brand new, and I thought that was jumping up quite a lot. Look, the knives are fantastic. They're made by a really great company with lovely history. But £265. What I want to know is why I needed it so much. I've got a knife with a punch. I have more clip points than I can use. But it was just the white bone Charlie Campagna, that whole sort of history that he has with Bill. And I just couldn't resist doing it. And Mike's knives, I was talking to him, and I said, is there any chance I can get one? When he texted me, he says, yes, you're just in time. There's one for you to get here. And I said, oh, lovely. How much is it, Mike? And he just sent back, without any warning, 265. And I laughed. I thought he was joking. I thought he was absolutely taking the mickey out of it. But no, that is the price, £265. So
And that's primary market.
That's
his
just from the
factory
dealer,
market.
yeah. And obviously he has
And
to put
Mike
it.
doesn't, but Mike doesn't overcharge.
He doesn't. He puts a bit on for himself. He has to make a profit.
Yeah.
But he doesn't get that many knives. So but it's just oh. So tomorrow is going to be a very nice post day. I'll do a video on the unboxing because I'm either going to cry or I'll smile from ear to ear and say, yes, that was worth it.
Yeah, yes, I think so. But also, MEDC, you need
intervention. Oh, you're so right.
The trouble is, we're the wrong people to facilitate that intervention, because shall I tell you we think all that will end up is we'll all end up buying new knives.
And I'm meant to be saving to go to the short show.
You and me both.
So.
I know he's already putting. Shh! Don't tell Sally. But he's already putting a fund together. See, we had a brilliant idea that because we're flying, we can't transport any knives, so we can't bring any knives with us, and we can't bring any knives back. But what we can bring, as I said to Stephen, is we can
cut the box.
We can bring a box that we can just stick in the post and post back to us. So it'll be like Christmas when we get home. It'll be like Sharp Show all over again. But anyway, look, we're well over time, and we've already sort of probably set a really bad example to everybody in the chat, and I hope that you do not follow our example, even though I know you need no encouragement.
No.
So go out, buy some knives,
and come back next Thursday and tell us what you shouldn't have done.
Exactly. Folks, thanks very much for joining us.
Take care, everybody. Thank you so much. You really have been enjoying the talk box, sir.
Absolutely brilliant fun.
Take care, guys.
Bye. Take it easy. Bye.